everybody, it is Calxiyn here, and today we have a RWBY theory.
Oh, okay. Donuts.
Hunter, are you ready for this?
Are
you ready for this? Are you guys ready for this? If you're a Patreon, yeah. You guys
if you're a Patreon, I'm sorry.
Good job. Anyways, I was gonna say that you guys should be a Patreon. Anyways, so this... See, you don't even know what it is, but they read the title and they were like, Cal, that's some good shit, I'll click on this. Okay, so this is the theory that Emerald is actually Qrow's daughter.
What?
Okay. So
this isn't yours, right?
No.
No.
I kind of like it, though, and I'll get to that in a minute because it has some... Okay, so you know how Emerald's based on Aladdin, right?
Now I do, yeah.
We'll get to Aladdin in a minute. So anyway, so this is
I know, Hunter, that you're always just, like, on your toes waiting for us to reference Aladdin here.
I know.
So.
This is kind of my dream, you know? But it's not my theory. So this is to counteract the Qrow is RWBY's dad theory because, no one has provided us with links to evidence, as RWBY sharing Qrow's blood, but Emerald, on the other hand, shares his red eyes. Not to mention that they have a weapon connection as well. Looks oddly similar to the scythes, don't you think? Like her little sickles?
Yes.
Because they're basically mini scythes, right?
Yeah, baby sickles.
Yeah, baby scythes. And so, do you want to look at their eyes again? For you guys that saw the thumbnail, you can do that. They're both red. You know, they have...
I'm stuck in ice! I can't get out!
Okay.
What is this? Alright.
Now let's think about it. Their personalities clash well together and then do match to an extent. So if you think about Qrow,
stuck again.
He's kind of like the, you know, I don't know how to get you out, I'm sorry. You know, like with Qrow, his personality, Emerald's very calm at times. She's also very obeying, right? She obeys Cinder. But she's also very manipulative, and I feel like that's a very Qrow trait. Like, Qrow's not an evil manipulative, but he does, like, work it to get what he wants, you know what I'm saying? You know, they're both kind of working as, like, they're working on opposite sides, which I find interesting. You're stuck again.
Oh my god.
But...
Thanks for... Yeah, I know, it was fine. I wasn't around for it. I was, like, locked in cryostasis.
But you know what I mean, right? That Emerald and Qrow's personalities, like, kind of counteract so well together that they blend. That if you imagine them being, like, father and daughter, I think that you could see that pretty easily, right? Because they both have kind of a, like, a sharpness to them to an extent. They're both working for somebody that is higher up than them, right? If you think about, what's her face? Sorry. If you think about, Qrow is working for Ozpin, and then, Emerald is working for Cinder, right? And so they both have that kind of aspect to them, as well, that they are kind of fighting for what they believe in to a certain extent. And then Emerald's backstory fits in with this well, because why would she be on the street if she doesn't have any parents? You know what I mean? And that goes with Aladdin, right? So, I'm gonna finish B-List. This is who sent it. Well, actually, B-List didn't send this to me. Another Patreon sent somebody else's theory to me and said, hey, Cal, like, this is the theory. And they didn't ask me to do it as a paid Patreon video, but I just take up things that I like, obviously. So here's the last of the story. Qrow and Summer were close, like best friends who wanted to be more than close, but then, by the time but when the time came for Qrow to muster up his feelings, it backfired. She likes Taiyang now, and she only saw them both as friends.
And then he fucked a black guy in the intervening time, and out came Girl.
And thus...
Or I was talking about, I guess, I was mentioning Summer.
No!
Anyways.
Summer has nothing to do... Okay.
Other than... Alright,
thus,
never mind.
thrusting Qrow in a pit of self-loathing and alcohol, because he thinks this is bad luck. B-List didn't say that, I just included that. Wanting to take his mind off things, he meets a cute little waitress who happens to be, good with her hands, and, where they aren't supposed to be, mainly his pockets, taking his wallet, so,
oh, so it's
yeah,
like
so it's, again, that's,
because we all know abilities at thieving are,
but
genetic.
Emerald does that because of her semblance, right? That
right,
Emerald semblance is able to, manipulate. That's another thing, right? They both have manipulation over their surroundings.
Yeah, but it's like, I thought they said
Emerald...
your semblance was not, like, tended not to be like that.
Yeah, I know, but she could be. We don't know, alright? Or she could just be a thief, and then Emerald got, like, a skill that made her a better thief, right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that they're necessarily connected, because her mom could have been, like, a regular thief, and now she's, like, a super thief, because she actually has, like, thief things. You know what I mean? And so, yeah. So, she steals Qrow's wallet and Qrow's heart, you know what I'm saying?
And his heart.
And that's what I'm saying, that Emerald got her thieving skills probably from her mother, and then she realized she had this cool semblance and was like, I can use this. You know what I mean? And they both have manipulation over their surroundings to an extent. Like, Emerald gets into people's heads, right? The surroundings don't change, but it's still impacting the environment around you to a certain extent. So their semblances are very similar in that way. So because of his grief of not being able to be with her, he takes action, and then later she dies, basically. I'm guessing that the waitress dies. But he feels real grief about not being able to be with Summer, and then Summer also dies, and so he took kind of action as the kid's uncle, and then Qrow always wanted a family with Summer, but since she's gone now, you know, he can finally have the chance of feeling like a father, because he's kind of the uncle to Ruby and Qrow. But little does he know, his real daughter has been right in front of him the whole time, in the form of Emerald. Not taking responsibility of his biological kid, because of his problems, and now Cinder has manipulated her, to kind of, you know, I feel like Cinder could do that to pit, Qrow and Emerald against each other a lot. And now the child he's raised has, you know, is fighting for Cinder, you know, you feel me? Seems like that bad luck charm sucker punched him where it hurt the most, his pride. That's what B-List said. So I'm gonna, add to this. Basically, I think this would be a very interesting dynamic. If people want Qrow to be the dad of somebody, I think Emerald would be very interesting. We know that Qrow seems like the guy who kind of slept around, you know what I mean? Because he does talk about the waitress in that story, right? The waitress with the really short skirt in Mistral. So who knows how many other waitresses that he got involved with, right? And so I could see him, though, what was different about this girl, like Emerald's potential mother, I think what would be different about her would be that she was very crafty and conniving and sort of manipulative, and he's like, I like that. You know what I mean? Like,
conniving and manipulative, my girl!
You know what I mean? Like, that she was very like Qrow, is what I mean. So their personalities meshed well, and they fucked, and then Emerald popped out. So, I think that could work, you know what I'm saying? And so, Emerald obviously is a lot darker than Qrow is, but like it could have been, you know, like it could have been a woman with dark skin. So I don't see how that's much of a problem, because, you know, that happens. And then like the eyes are the same as him, right? And so that's kind of like whenever somebody has like red eyes, we're probably gonna be keeping an eye out for them. But if you think about Yang, right? Yang's eyes look very much like Emerald, and Yang is related to Raven, right? And so it makes sense that Emerald could also be related to Qrow, and that's how Cinder could further manipulate her, saying that, like, your real father has kind of, like, he's abandoned you to fight for Ozpin. He doesn't care about you. Like, saying stuff like that to make sure that she kind of submits to that idea, you know what I mean? You feel me? Like, that could have been an easy manipulation tactic that Ozpin, made, like, that she's been on the streets for so long and her father was always out there to take care of her, but instead he's working for Ozpin and, like, he's evil and, like, stuff like that. Also, here's where I'm gonna bring in Disney into this, okay?
Oh, fucking hell. Because
Miles and Carrie said that they watch Disney, alright?
Everyone watches Disney!
I know, they watch some Disney, alright?
Everyone
They
watches
wanted to surround Blake with some bell-like objects, and so they did the candlestick, like they did Lumiere, they did Cogsworth, they did all that stuff, okay? So they're obviously taking detail from Disney movies, okay? So, I personally think this is probably a good contender, even if they didn't watch, like, the movie, but they just read up about it, because they were like, we want to do Aladdin, let's see what Aladdin has going on.
Hasn't seen Aladdin.
I don't know, like, oh, no, I don't mean the first Aladdin movie.
Oh, no. No one gives a shit about Aladdin 7 Jafar goes to the dentist, like... Give it a rest. I was with you until you brought up stupid-ass references.
No. Okay, so this is basically... This was supposed to be in the main Aladdin, okay? But then it got shafted and moved to Aladdin 3. So, if you guys have ever watched Aladdin and the 40 Thieves, okay, you'll know that Aladdin's mom died, and he thought his father was dead, but in actuality, his father was leading this tribe of 40 thieves. You know? You feel me? And so his father was alive the whole time, and the premise of that movie is for Aladdin to find his father and stuff, because his father basically broke into the palace and tried to steal their shit. And he, like, tried to kill him for, like, a hot minute, and then he realized it was his son. Like, it happens, okay? And
it
so,
happens.
If, like, somebody saw that and was like, you know what I mean? Like, because if you think about it, Qrow is, sort of... like, similar to Aladdin's father in the movie. If you guys have watched the movie, they have a very similar personality, like, a very smooth voice, too, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know who his voice actor is, but, like, Aladdin's dad's kind of hot, man, like, not gonna lie. And so, there's that, but there's also kind of the, like, the leading the tribe thing. Obviously, we know Qrow is a part of a tribe, he's not leading it, but you could also just... kind of put that in with, because Aladdin is on, and his father are on two opposing sides. Like, his father is on the side of criminals, right? And that he is on the side of basically all of these, like, criminals that he's leading, right? While Aladdin is now on the side of good, like, he's a reformed, like, thief by this point. And so, with Emerald and Qrow, it's kind of the opposite, where Qrow is the one who is kind of on the side of good with Ozpin, and then she is working with the criminals, right? So it's a nice little switcheroo right there. I don't know if they watched the third Aladdin movie.
They probably didn't.
They probably didn't, but I think that if they looked it up and, like, kind of saw that this was supposed to be in the original Aladdin movie, and they were like, that's some good shit, you know what I mean? Because this is already assuming that they, like, with this theory that they were like, you know what would be cool for Emerald and Qrow to be related? That's already assuming that, so I think saying that they did it maybe because of Aladdin is too far off.
Is then
either.
Going ridiculous.
Well,
more ridiculous than I think you usually
A little more
go.
ridiculous. I really like that idea, though, that they kind of saw what something could have been in another medium, right? Because obviously in Disney this didn't happen in the Aladdin movie. It happened like the third direct-to-DVD thing that nobody ever talks about, right?
Except for you, right now.
And so I think that for that, everybody actually really liked this one, okay? So, meh. And
everybody. Who's everybody?
I don't know, like Disney fans, because, you know, people kind of shit on Disney sequels sometimes, but this is actually one of the good ones, you know? It's up there with Lion King 2, like, it's all okay. And so I think that if
I've never seen Lion King 2.
Well, we'll get to Lion King 2. So I think that, like, if you really, like, kind of think about it, if they kind of saw that this was gonna be the original premise and they were like, that's some cool shit, you know, we should do that because Disney didn't do it, so I don't know, we should do it, you know what I mean? Like, I could see them doing that, like, personally, I don't know, because I feel like that they're all about kind of taking the fairy tales that we know and love and then crushing our dreams, and Goldilocks gets her arm cut off. Like, when you think about it that way, is it really that far-fetched anymore? So I like this theory.
I feel like there's a difference between, like, they were inspired by fairy tale creatures, and a difference between, like, yeah, we're gonna go off of a really obscure straight to VHS.
I'm not saying that they would go off it.
VHS, I'm pretty sure.
I'm not saying that they would go off of it. I'm just saying that maybe they were like, that's a good idea. You know what I mean?
I like parts of it, but man, don't bring up Aladdin sequels.
I want to bring up Aladdin. Anyway, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Listen, B-List said nothing about Aladdin. I brought the Aladdin into this. Like, his theory was okay, and then
it was reasonable until I showed up.
Exactly. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you enjoyed this video, remember to become a patron over on Patreon. And, yeah, to get your theory featured, and I'll put Aladdin into it too, if I can, for another Disney sequel that you didn't want to
watch. Me, bitch.
That you didn't want to watch. Yeah, we should talk about Mulan too, and, like, the connections between Ren and Nora, and stuff like that.
Is Nora Mushu?
No.
Is she played by Eddie Murphy?
No. Never mind. Anyway.
In animation, you can be whatever you want. Unless you're a black man. In that case, you can be a donkey or a dragon.
Okay.
Sing us out. I didn't say that. I think Chris Rock said that. Sing a sound.
Okay, so we'll see you later. That's basically it.
Alright.
Bye, guys.